Hey guys, this is Missy, otherwise known as the Starforge, otherwise known as the Terrafort. You can see her here. I'm going to do a simple walkthrough of character creation in the Star Wars Legends of the Old Republic server on Neverwinter Nights. Getting started, the first thing to note, as usual, genders don't matter in Neverwinter Nights. Species, we have non-standard species. Each species usually gets +1 and 2 stats, -1 and 2 stats. The exception being humans, which get 1 skill point instead that's extra. And cyborg, which currently don't gain anything other than the droid speak language, but instead will possibly future have the ability to place extra augments on their body. For now, I'm going to choose someone with high strength and high dex. So let's see. Strength con, dex whiz, dex con. I guess that means I'm playing as Zabrak. So another important thing to note about this server is that we have the ability to play without caring for our stats as much. And this is due to 2 things. One of them is that your stats will evolve as you gain skill points over time. And the other one is that your mental stats, that would be your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, aren't mental stats on this server. They're instead considered to be force conductive stats. So they still effectively make you a caster class, but you don't have to play to your proverbial intelligence score or any of that other stuff. So right now I'm going to aim to play probably a berserker. I want to get through this as quick as possible. There are no alignments on this server. There are associations instead. They don't currently do anything as of early 2019, but that could change in the future. So I'm just going to pump my strength. And we actually want to aim for odd numbers because there will be a balance update, which affects how our stats are allowed to be spread via level up points. And what this means is that you'll have the ability to train your stats up to 55 through skills, which combined with odd number starting stats will bring you out to an even number on the mods. So, as I said before, we don't have base skills, you have to train skills. So to get better at a skill, simply use it. And we can customize once we enter the game, but I won't really customize because I don't plan on playing one of these guys forever. This is just for a tutorial. Pro. Rotarian. No, I don't know what a Zabrak is before you ask. I don't really play as much Star Wars. I'm here actually because I like the systems overall. So let me just set up my start bar. You'll notice that the start bar itself has been changed. We have the rest menu. So most of your menu stuff is done through here. You can also access it by pressing R. For now, I'm just going to move that over here. You can access all of your character skills through the class menus. So moving that there. I'm not going to be doing too much crafting, so I don't care about that. The chat command targeter is mainly used by the /bug to report bugs. And when you type in /bug, you want to also type in a description of what's happening. And then you use the chat commander tool to target the object or yourself so that the devs can get extra information. There is no stealth on this server. If I go to try to use it, stealth mode is disabled. You can use detect mode, but it won't function as detect mode. It's just effectively your walk key if you don't have walk mapped like I do. So we're going to enter the game world. Now, to get off of CZ is what we're going to be focused on. CZ is the starting area. And the goal here is to complete the proverbial tutorial. If you talk to these NPCs, they'll all direct you to talking to the actual NPC you need to talk to get started with. If this loads. Okay. So this is the first NPC you want to talk with.
Hello there.
And she's going to give us our quests. Quests, as usual, can be accessed through your journal. So we have to talk to 3 people. I'm going to talk with the crafting droid first, because I can do his stuff while I work on other jobs. Actually, I'll talk to this guy first, Axis, Avix. And he will give us a resource harvester. You use resource harvesters to harvest pretty much anything in the game other than scavenged materials, which don't need one. Scavenged materials are going to be what we mostly see here. Scavenging scrap metal. And I'm choosing scavenging because everything else would require me to craft, and crafting should honestly be its own video. The crafting system here is very complex. So I have 1 job to harvest ore. I have 1 job to collect scrap metal, which I can find in these junk piles. It'll roll a check, though it didn't tell me what the check was for once.
Greetings.
So we have to get the 10 scrap metals. We have to kill 5 Minox, which are right down here. Pretty much most of the quest materials that you're going to be doing on CZ are going to be right here. So let's kill our 5 Minox, harvest the scrap, and then harvest the ores. Now, you might be asking why I'm using something as bad as fiber blades, and that's because I want this to be I want to finish this as quickly as possible. In most cases, the best weapons on the server are going to be rifles, oddly enough. And that's because blaster rifles will scale off your dex, which is also your AC, and the damage on rifles is much higher than the damage on bows for anyone used to Neverwinter Nights. We have, I believe, pistols are either 2d6 or 2d8, and then blaster rifles are either 2d8 or 2d10. They're very, very high. And you can also get feats that increase the damage slightly, called Plasma Cell, as well as the usual Rapid Shot. However, the downside, of course, is that you can't get damage boosters through your stats other than through those feats. So we've collected all of our proverbial quest items for the Minoc Teeth. Oh, I missed a scrap pile back there. Now, if we check our journal, you'll see that we've gotten all of the scraps, the journal entries. So 10 units of scrap. I've killed the 5 Minox, so I can go back up to hand in my receipt, but I'm just going to stay down here. There's 5 Minox in this room is where we just were, and there's an additional couple of Minox here. So over here, the southwest corner is where we'll find all the ores for the ore collection quest. I will also mention now that other than the scrap metal quest, the other 2 quests have further quest lines. So after you hand in these quests, you can talk to the same NPC, and they will let you continue to do additional quests, but those are optional and just give you extra rewards. We only need to do these 3 quests in order to get off of CZ and onto Vizcara. Vizcara is the starting planet for the server. I would say that it might be a little difficult at first if you haven't gotten better armor yet, but you can usually make a shout on the HoloNet, which is /S, like on most servers. And the HoloNet will let you interact with other players, obviously. Other than that, you can do your own crafting. Most people consider most of the crafts to be hard to level up, except for engineering. And that is because engineering, you can mass produce fuel cells, which you can sell to other players with no problems. Now, when I'm harvesting, I have to be within a certain range to harvest. And it's based off of my harvesting skill. Additionally, I should have bought a scanner. I just didn't feel like buying one. And a scanner will let me determine the quality of the ore. There's usually 4 qualities. There's low quality, normal quality, high quality, and very high quality. And what those mean is that the extra stats that appear on the ores will be anywhere between +1 and +3. Both of these don't have any bonus stats, and that's probably because I didn't scan them. Scanning them increases the chance of you getting those extra stats. You'll also notice that I've started with a survival knight, a player guide, the Omni die, and the weapon that I started with. In order to get rid of the survival knight, I can just equip it and then use the special feature on it. Unique power self. There is no way to get rid of this dagger, otherwise you must use that unique power self after equipping it in order to get rid of it. It is considered a plot item and it will not break. The player guide is your walkthrough. I would read that in your own time. And the Omni die is one of the best parts of the server, honestly. You have access to every die at any time you want, in addition to changing your look anytime you want. You don't need to walk up to any mirrors, you don't have to pay any gold. It's an RP server, so they let us have fun with having, 10,000 outfits if we really want to. You can actually store 10 outfits, though obviously I won't have any as a new character. Oh my god, this character is actually pretty ugly. Rip. So for armor classes, for the first planet of Viscara, you don't need anything higher than 30. And even that is really kind of unnecessary. That's only if you plan on fighting a bunch of turtles. And I do mean turtles. The turtles are the most deadly thing on the planet. They have 10 AB and they hit like trucks. Other than that, most things you fight won't have more than like 3 to 5 AB on this planet. If you go off to Moncala, though, the monsters I've heard, since I haven't been there yet, in order to get to Moncala, at this point in time, you need a spaceship. But though they're going to add a shuttle service soon. But I've heard that the monsters on Moncala have up to 50 AB with epic dodge, just to be annoying. So for those who have played Aerolith and have fought the stupid little... Oh, they look like the Minox. I think they're Sturges. With epic dodge, and have just cried because your first attack misses every time. Because that's what epic dodge does. Yeah, they have those on Moncala just to be annoying. You'll notice here that I'm getting hit a lot. My HP's but my AC is low. I might just die here to show you what happens when you die. As for healing, your character will automatically heal over time. So I'm going to respawn, and respawning affects my durability, but it doesn't have any other long-lasting vocations because XP, we don't have an XP system. Well, we do have an XP system, but it's based on each individual skill. See, I have 10 unallocated SP, and that's because you start off with 5 unallocated SP, and then I also have 5 skill points from training various skills like harvesting. So, if I look at my skills, melee combat, I'm now level 3 in Twin Blades. My range combat's 0 because I haven't used anything ranged. I haven't used any armor, the default armor doesn't count. Nothing in force because I haven't used any force skills. And my gathering, my harvesting is level 2 because I did that one quest. So I'm gonna turn in the quests that I have completed, which is the ore quest and the Minoc quest, and then I'm gonna run around. Ooh, give me a second. So I'm going to pick up the scrap metal that's on this floor. There's actually quite a bit of scrap metal and fiberplast here, and you might find even higher level players running around here. And that's due to the fact that the scrap metal and fiberplast here, fiberplast is from the supplies caches, or caches, these are considered to be level 0 materials. Level 0 materials add no difficulty to whatever you're crafting, but the downside is that they also usually don't add stats or durability. On the other side, if you can't craft things and you don't have access to CZ for some reason, you can walk up to pretty much any crafting table. I don't even think you need to be trained in that craft. And you can select the scrap item option. I think this is fiberplast here, yeah. I've done my fair share of scouring CZ for fiberplast, unfortunately. Because when you're training up armor smithing, because Walesa is... I think now she is the top armor smith in the game, other than her armor, which you can make armor that improves your crafting skill in addition to pretty much any other set. Including base attack bonus at the time, though we have been pushing to have base attack bonus removed from the ability to add it to crafted items. In order to craft well, you need, first of all, levels in the skill, and then secondly, you want to actually succeed in your craft. Because succeeding gives you... succeeding in transferring properties gives you more XP. And as we all know, more XP is good XP. So I'm almost done with the tutorial. Let's see, 5, 6, 7. Stop failing the scavenging. You can increase your chance of scavenging through certain perks. I just don't have those perks because, as I said, I wanted to get through the combat part as quickly as possible. Not like Minox are particularly hard to kill. I think they had like -1 or -2 AB. But I'm just trying to get everyone through the tutorial as fast as possible. I think that's locked. Oh, that's not locked. Yay. Some of these doors are locked, some of them aren't. It's super minor on fixing. So there hasn't been much of an attempt to fix it. In most areas, scavenging and harvesting points are randomized. So here they're preset. If I come back here in 5 minutes, I will find all of these scrap metal and fiberplast piles exactly where I picked them up. On the main planets, though, there is no current scavenging in the colony of Velis, but there is... yeah, what the heck, I'll pick it up. There is harvesting options out in the wild lands, the wild woods, and the 2 mountain maps. In addition to pretty much any other planet will have the same offerings. So I'm gonna go turn in my quests. Manage skill 5, thank you. He gives me gold. You will appreciate the starting gold, just that you can buy armor from Darren Beto here. But once I get to the planet, I'm stopping here. So you can do your own armor shopping. As I said, the default armor gives you some AC. Or, the armor you start the game with doesn't give you any AC. The default armor that you can buy from Darren Beto's shop gives you a little bit of AC, unless you're buying Force armor. Force armor gives you additional Force point storage instead. In exchange, Force armor is the easiest to cast in, followed by light armor, followed by heavy armor. And what easiest means is that when you hand in, or when you go to cast a Force ability, Force armor applies no modifier to the casting time. Light armor applies a 25% penalty. And heavy armor applies a 100% penalty. So you won't be able to cast as easily in heavy armor. If you don't plan on casting in combat, that's not a problem. You can also offset that by applying decreased casting time modifiers to your armor. So I'm done with the 3 quests. I now have the shuttle pass, and I can head to the planet. Okay, hope you all found this at least moderately useful. We can exit this area over here and get into the colony proper from the spaceport. Okay, thank you.